All right, folks. So in the previous video, we started creating the backend file app.py to basically load the multiple linear regression model. And for that, we first we created a couple of pages, web pages, which are home.html and predict.html. Home.html is the one which will contain the form submission code for submitting the values of different parameters or different variables like state, uh, R&D spend, administration spend, marketing spend, etc. So these are the elements. So these are the values which will be included in the home.html file as a form. So form is nothing but it's a combination of various elements like text boxes, labels, and submit button. So once a user submits a particular values on that particular form, those get submitted to the web server. So I'm going to create the or develop the code for that front end as well. But for now, what we did was we created two web pages: home.html, predict.html, the empty placeholder files, and then we created two functions. One is home to render the home page, and one is to predict with the endpoint predict. So once the user submits a result, the predictive values will be shown on the new page, which is the predict.html on a this particular endpoint. So let's continue writing the other piece of code. Okay, so in the try block, I told you that this try except statement is I'm including this statement here to catch any errors or for error handling purpose. Okay, so that is always a good practice to always use try except block so that you won't get any ugly error. Okay, so let's do it. And we are going to have these variables. So I told you, like, we did some one hot encoding. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just trying to catch the values as 10. So in the demo also you saw the values as submitted as 100, correct, or 010 or 001. So 1, we are providing 1 for the value which we want to include in our prediction, and 00 for the state values which we don't want to include. So New York equals to float request dot form, and then the New York variable value. So this is a variable which stores the value received from the web page, from the text box. Okay, request dot form is request. I told you request is the method using which we can respond and receive the values, and there is a metadata associated with it. So since we are going to submit the values in the form, so that's why I'm including form here. And in that form there is going to be a text box with the name New York. So I will show you when I'm going to code for a home.html. So in that there is a text box with the name New York on that form, and once the user submits, it will be submits the value. That value will be caught in this variable. Okay, similarly we are doing it for other variables. Okay, so here for California, here we are doing it for Florida. Here we are going to have R&D spend. Then here admin spend. One more thing, why did I use float here? So this particular statement, it receives the value in string form, and Therefore, we need to convert the string values into float in order to do processing in our multiple linear regression model, because that model will definitely accept the numerical or float value. So that's why I've used float here. Okay, and then lastly, admin spend, and then market spend. Okay, so we are receiving values from the form on whole home page to these variables now. Okay, so now the next statement is to predicted arguments. So we will create a list of all of our arguments in order to pass that value to our model. Okay, so obviously the list need to be converted into array first, so that we are going to do in next steps. So what we are going to do is create a list of these values: New York, California, Florida, admin spend, market spend. So we have created a list of values. So these variables receive the values, and now we have created the list, and now we are going to convert it into arrays. Okay, so predicted arguments array equals to np dot array, and then pred args, this value. Okay, so after this we will reshape it just like we did previously in previous videos, in fact. So pred arg arr equals to pred underscore rr dot reshape, and then 1 minus 1. So we are reshaping it now here. Okay, and here what we will do is we will load our multiple linear regression model. So this is the saved model which we created and saved in our previous videos. So joblib.load, that was the thing I was talking about. So joblib.load, so we are loading our model here, and the name of the model is multiple linear underscore regression dot pkl. It should be in quotes. And then in the read mode. Okay, rb. So let's name it multiple regression. Okay, and here we will do ml model. Sorry, I did some mistake here. So job it. Oh yes, I need to basically open it. I need to open this file. This statement will be in ml model. So this will be here, and here I'm just opening this particular model, multiple linear regression model, in the read mode. So now we are going to load this model. Okay, and now we are going to predict the profit based on the value received in this variables, right? So model prediction equals to ml model dot predict, okay, and our arguments here, okay. So we'll include our arguments here, and let's do one more step wherein we will just round off the values to two significant places, okay. So model prediction equals to round, and then change it into float, and then model prediction and to two significant places, okay. So this is our code in try, and in the catch statement, okay. So looks like something is hanging here. All right, and here we will include a message if it is failing. If the model fails or something went wrong, then in that case we will throw an error or throw a message, please check if the values are entered correctly. So let us say on our web page, if we enter the value successfully and it processes successfully with the response code 200, everything will go fine. Otherwise, if there is some issue or error, in that case it will throw a message, please check if the values are entered correctly, okay. So this is our code for the complete model processing. I will cover the next step in the next video. So for this video, I mean, for this is it for this video. Thanks for watching.